it's going to have a different flow to it. You're going to have to find a way to win it, which is the most important thing, but continue to try to be as good of a football team as we can be. And then when those opportunities arise in games to finish people off, we got to do a good job of finishing people off.
This last one right here, all right, 10th all-time touchdown passes. This guy's a G. He balled again today. He had 4 today.
That's good, man. Love being a part of this. Man, it's got to be that week in and week out, man. Let's keep this thing rolling. Rams on 3, 1, 2, 3.
We always got a chance.
Howdy and welcome on in, Los Angeles Rams fans. It's been a moment since I've done a Rams video, and that's my fault. Won't happen again. We'll see you again next week. But can we talk about how your team, the Los Angeles Rams, were able to put on a freaking clinic and a lot of defensive studs, a couple of young guys that I really want to talk about. But the first guy I need to talk about is probably the guy that's not going to get his actual due, his legitimate due on how well he performed on Sunday. But Matthew freaking Stafford, dude. Matthew freaking Stafford going for 18 of 27, 295 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 sacks. This offensive line is playing at a crazy clip right now at a quarterback rating of 142.7. Y'all, Matthew Stafford is playing like, I got 3 more years. And I was talking to a buddy, and we were just talking about the draft. If you guys didn't know, I have an Ashton Genty video up. I'm going to be doing more film breakdowns like I did on Braden Fisk, like I did on Cam Kitchens. We'll talk about them a little bit later, but I'm going to be doing film breakdowns. But I was talking to a buddy of mine, and we were discussing quarterbacks in the draft. I brought up Quinn Ewers, and I was talking about him, his placement, and he was like, you know who should get Quinn Ewers? Freaking Los Angeles Rams. I'm like, what? What's going on? Like, Matthew Stafford is literally throwing at a clip where I know he at least has 2 to 3 more seasons of performing at the level he's at right now, if all things stay equal and he stays healthy. But I also told him, just a little side note for you guys, I said, Jared Goff and Quinn Ewers are very similar with skill set and personality. Sean McVay does not want that. McVay wants a freaking risk taker, a gunslinger, a guy that's a playmaker, a guy that's chaotic, a guy that's just rambunctious on the football field. That's what he needs. That's what he wants. That's what fits the style of Mr. Sean McVay. So I'm going to say that about that. And then Kyron Williams, what a game, 15 carries, 86 yards, had a long one for 18. Puka Nacua, welcome back. And guys, what Puka Nacua does, and I realized it in this Patriots game, aside from, of course, Cooper Kupp, of course, Kyron Williams, of course, Matthew Stafford, all of these guys, they can really do it. But Puka specifically, if Puka is hot, the offense is hot. There are times where Cooper could be hot, but other players aren't really getting in, aren't really active. Or there's times where Kyron Williams is super, super hot, but the passing game can't really get acclimated. When Puka Nacua is hot, everyone is operating at a crazy frequency. Matthew Stafford is able to zip him and dime him. Matthew Stafford is able to see an all-out blitz and have Cooper Kupp go for that big one of 69 yards to get in the end zone. I mean, it just calms out so much. It just takes away so many different coverages. It just exposes so many different looks that the defense is trying to give you when you do have a number 2 of Puka Nacua's status that is really, really ramping it up with his style of play and ramping it up with his performance. It's going to open up Cooper Kupp to really just do what he always been doing and just breaking down those inside nickels or those safeties that are on him, that linebacker help that's on him, and just able to abuse who's ever on him. This offense is truly a different offense when you get Puka Nacua hot, not just hot, but hot early. If you guys look at that drive, if you guys look at the beginning of the game, Puka was like the only dude that Matthew was able to really see open and throw open on a consistent basis. And so I would have to say, firmly, and I believe this, I'm not saying that Puka Nacua is the most important piece. I'm not saying he's the best piece. What I'm saying is, for whatever reason, the flow of the game for the offense changes completely when we get Puka Nacua hot early. Everything just changes from that feature. So I would really like to see how that kind of flails out and stretches out into the season. And we're going to be talking about Sean McVay a little bit later too. Yeah, but Puka Nacua back. If there was any doubts about the role of Puka Nacua, I would have to say it's done for the rest of the season. He is going to be playing for the rest of the season. He silenced any and all haters saying he was going to have a drop-off year, saying that he was going to have a rookie slump, saying all this with a crazy, crazy performance of 7 receptions, 174 yards, and that amazing touchdown, that two-hander where he was completely horizontal with the ground, parallel with the ground. And those types of catches, those types of performances, those types of moments It's what's going to give the entire offense freaking fuel to keep going at 100 miles per hour. And so his availability is the best ability for this team at this point in time because he's such an amazing number 2. As long as he continues to have good battles with these injuries and able to keep his health on point, things are going to be seriously in a good light. So for him to stay healthy, maybe limit the acrobatic catches, maybe just for touchdowns, you can do those. But Puka Nacua being healthy is very, very important. And as I was saying, Puka Nacua being healthy, it really does a lot of great things for Cooper Kupp. 6 receptions, 106 yards, and two touchdowns. And I'm ready to talk about Braden Fisk, who I saw get 2 sacks. I'm ready to talk about Cam Kitchens, who was able to end the game with a beautiful interceptions. Dudes, like, guys, I know you guys remember me, Miles, the freaking guy of the guy. I'm over here really talking up Braden Fisk and really talking about how you guys have a crazy steal of getting him in the 2nd round. How you got Cam Kitchens, what, it was like the 7th? A Jim Thorpe winner, you got him in the freaking 7th? Or he was like in the running for it, but he's one of the best safeties that I evaluated throughout this draft, and you guys got him very, very late. Once again, you're seeing in real freaking time Sean McVay's ability to not find talent, right? To not find skill, but to find football players. How many GMs and how many head coaches out there can really dial it in the way that your boys do with getting legit talent in the 7th round? How many 7th round safeties are playing a lot, starting and ending games? Not a lot. So, this is a big shout out to Sean McVay, and I always forget y'all's GM's name. It's like Les something. Les is in it. Les Snead is. I think that's it. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I really like where you guys are at. I'm seeing you guys at a 5-5 approach right now. So you're at 500. You guys have a very, very important task coming up against the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys will be playing them in Los Angeles. This is a home game for you guys, so that's great. They're coming from the far East Coast all the way to the West Coast, so that's great. That's good for you guys. But even more so, this is just going to be a real test, a legitimate test. This is a team that is 8-2 in the NFC, and you guys might see them in the playoffs. This is definitely a possibility for you guys to see the Eagles in the playoffs, so this is very, very important. Now, I don't know if you know, but the Eagles have a couple of young, talented cornerbacks, young, talented people in the trenches, and they have been wreaking havoc recently. I say, let's just dial it into the same old game plan. Keep Matthew Stafford upright as long as possible, giving him opportunities to get the ball out as quick as possible so a lot of pressure doesn't get in his way. Kyron Williams, this might be a game where you're catching out of the backfield a little bit. This is definitely a game, though, where we need you to get north to south fast to get some up yards to make 2nd and shorts or 3rd and shorts for the offense. And as we have already explained, get Puka Nacua active early. Get him going very, very, very early. This is going to be a great test for you guys. Braden Fisk, you just had an amazing game. Hoyt out there balling the way he's been balling. This pass rushers, this defense is in a good space. Even in the secondary, there's some great things happening. This Philadelphia Eagles offense is going to be very, very tough. You have a mobile, strong quarterback in Jalen Hurts who loves to throw it to this big wide receiver named A.J. Brown and this skinny receiver named Devontae Smith. But I firmly believe in Sean McVay. I firmly believe in the offense with Matthew Stafford, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Kyron Williams, and this defense is playing free. I just see you guys playing super free defensively. And great, you guys are putting yourselves in great position to perform at a crazy clip, an effective clip. And so this defense needs to understand that, hey, we can compete with the best. And this offense needs to understand, hey, as long as we get things started hot and early, we will be okay. Once again, the Eagles game is going to be a Sunday Night Football approach. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I need to hear your thoughts and how you guys see your team at this point in time. Let me know what you think. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.